Canon.
Hello. Oh, I got a headache today. I got a headache today. I just heard myself talking. Nice. It's with that alcohol I drank yesterday. No, I had like the tiniest amount of alcohol in one of my drinks. So if this is somehow a hangover from a little, like one shot of a fruity drink, maybe 2 shots of it, I'd be very impressed considering I've never experienced a hangover in my life. I'm going to assume it was just from not drinking enough water, because I've been peeing a lot in the night recently, and I was like, I'm not going to drink much water past like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, because I want to not be woken up constantly in the night. Then I stayed up till 6 o'clock in the morning, so I probably didn't drink anything for 8 to 10 hours. So it's likely just due to a little bit of dehydration that's giving me a headache. Oh, it's laggy already. Oh, that reminds me. I shouldn't be doing this during stream, but I want to load up my MMO I'm playing to do my dailies. Woo! Dailies. So I need to make... weirdly enough, they still add Cascade starter content to the Unreal Engine, which I do find odd because I don't... Can you even make a Cascade anymore? I remember having a problem trying to make one, and I swear it didn't let me, but I could be fabricating a memory. I could have been looking here and thinking, where's Cascade? Max, data prep, foliage, FX, gameplay, input materials, media, miscellaneous paper, physics, sound, texture. I don't know. Is that not one that's particle? Where does particle come under? FX? Must be right. Nagra. That kind of the... That wasn't a word by the end of it, but yeah. Oh, there was no... there's no Cascade. But I can always duplicate an existing Cascade and then just use that. Now, I like Cascade quite a lot because Cascade, quite frankly, just works. So does Niagara. If you're good at and you know how to do Niagara, you're not gonna have any problem. My issue is I'm just sucked. Twitch chat no work. Sorry, I've not even got it up yet. I'm not quick enough. No announcement again. I'm gonna announce in a second. It's fine. It's fine. I still need to fix all the chats. The bottom left chat's not even working. Announcement. I should just get a bot that does it. I don't know why I haven't. I guess it's... I just don't know where to look for it. Or set it up. There you go. Let's fix the chat now as well. I feel like the music's too loud, at least in my ears. Oh. You can hear my game in the background. Yeah. I'm logging into this just because I need to log in to get my dailies. That's all I need to do, and then I can log back out. But I think I need to be logged in for 30 minutes, so I'll log in and minimize. Let's fix my chat. I still don't... Have I popped out the Twitch chat? Yeah, I think I have. Yeah, there you go. They're a really weird way to make cascade. There's a really weird way to make them, right? Make blueprint, add a particle system component, and when states in the particle system hit new cascade. Really? What? They clearly want to go away from certain systems like tessellation, like removing that. They're clearly not wanting to use cascade much anymore, even though maybe there's something inherently wrong with cascade that I'm not aware of. But I always had a good time with cascade, so I can't really say personally I was like, no, this is working awful. Like, it worked perfectly fine for me. They're trying to remove them, yeah. I find that very weird, because I just feel like, at a bare minimum, you should just be letting people pick what they want, but I guess it bloats their software. Like, imagine constantly keeping old stuff that only a handful of people want. A lot of people want tessellation, so that's a bad example. But, oh yeah, let me fix the chat. But if we're thinking, like, for example, Cascade, I don't know how many people actually want Cascade. Streaming, question mark? I am streaming. Yeah, I don't know how many people actually want like Cascade. So if you have a piece of software that you constantly are keeping all the old stuff in, I guess it would blow out your software. Because instead of it being like a 1.5 gigabyte install or something like that, maybe is it like a 3 gigabyte install? It would be like a 12 gigabyte install, because you're keeping every single thing you had in older versions, the newer ones. But there are, I don't know, it's like Cascade. I'm just like, it worked. A lot of people liked it. Like, I guess it's like with Flash, when I think they completely removed ActionScript 2, even though it was still functioning. Like, if you wanted to make a simple point-and-click adventure in Flash back in the day, it was as simple as on... So I used to call them action brackets. I don't know if they actually have a name, but it was something like... This is purely from memory from when I was like freaking 15 or earlier. It was something, I think it was capital like this. It was on... Not action bracket, it was what you had to do. So you could do press, hold, release, which would mean, hey, Daijik? How's it going, man? Yeah, so it'd be like on press or release or hold, depending on what you had. Right? So if I just had it on press, it means when I click my left button. On press, go to, and wait. And then it was action bracket, go to... I think I used to do it like this, actually. Go to and play. And then you tell it what frame. Let's say 27. And then action bracket off. That was, from what I recall, how you made it so when you clicked something. So you had to click a specific object that you converted to, not a smart object. So that's like a Photoshop term. But a specific object type. And you'd throw that command into it. And it meant when you now clicked on that object, you would be thrown to frame 27, which worked perfectly fine for a point-and-click adventure, because you could just make it say frame 27 was just a different environment. Like you click on a door, click, boom, you're now in a different environment. Hello, Funky Pants, again, man. But they removed ActionScript 2. Well, Flash doesn't even exist anymore to an extent. It's called Animate now, and I don't think they have any of the programming. But yeah, like, it's a shame. So all we need... I'm great, how about you? I'm pretty good. I've got a little bit of a headache at the moment. I probably shouldn't be drinking coffee with a headache, because I think the caffeine makes your headache worse. But I've taken some paracetamols. What language is that? That is ActionScript 2 for Flash back in the day. ActionScript. So it's what probably a lot of your fondest memories of old Flash games were programmed with. Oh my god, that was my tutorial. Whoa, it's me. Flash ActionScript 2 first tutorial, changing frames and buttons. Steve's tutorials. What the heck? Is that doesn't come up in general, right? That's just because... No. Why would I come up? Even in incognito mode, where it shouldn't have any like search history and stuff. What? This is making my face really bright. Maybe sleeping problems or stress. Nah, I fell asleep at like 6 o'clock. Like it probably was just sleeping. I fell asleep at 6 o'clock and then woke up like 3 times today. Like it was probably just sleeping. I've been having sleeping problems for like the last year because of my throat. Tell me about it. How big is your index or contents page? Oh my god. How? That's actually script. Oh, actually, that's actually script 1. I didn't even know 1 was a thing. Well, I guess so with script 2. I'm not going through that. Yeah, it was really simple commands. It was like a really nice way. It comes up for me too fast shot. Wow, that's so weird. Oh wait, where's my Twitch chat gone? Oh, there's. Alright, keep both of them up there, and we'll try not to do anything to that. Now, I think all we need now is particle effects. There are some minor changes I actually want to do to the texture. So like that Flash is gone, right? Flash was such a golden age for gaming because it was just filled with... If anyone ever wants to talk about passion projects and passion for gaming, Flash was the golden era for that. You can fight me on that, but Flash was all free content. People didn't try to sell their games. They just threw it on these sites like Newgrounds, Stick Page, OneMoreLevel.com. Oh, what was that one that everyone used to do? There was Armored Games as well. I can't remember the one I'm thinking of. It was one that everyone used to always bring up and I never used to go on it. Cool math games were great, yeah. Yeah, like... It was such a good time for video gaming. And I do feel sorry for anyone who's my age that never got to experience that, who are now gamers, because it was great. Run Free. That sounds familiar. Run Free. Is that the one where you just have to jump, duck and stuff, like you're going from left to right? Hold on a minute, can I still play it? Oh no, was Run Free the one where you ran forward? And you had to like, it was like 3D. Oh, it's not working. I think it is, right? Oh, cool math. They're literally called cool math games. I thought you were saying to me you liked playing math games. Oh my lord. Yeah, this game was sick. I've already covered up chat. Hold on a minute. I know I'm going to die. There's a bunch of libraries out there. In fact, I'd like for someone to just make a... Surely it's not illegal to turn it into like a ROM release or a console ROM. Like, because they were free... I wonder if there's copyright involved. Because they were all released as free-to-play games. So if you attach them all to a functioning ROM and was like, here you go, here's a ROM and it runs on this system or something. I don't know if that's how easy it'd work anyway, but that'd be great. There's a Steam app for it anyway. The fact that this is a Flash game, though, is mental. But I say to my boss over and over and over again, like, if you want to make an easy game that will likely do at least decently well, just go find an old Flash game that people loved and recreate it today with, like, new fancy 3D graphics and stuff, because people would love it. Where do you think Candy Crush came from? It was it Bejeweled or whatever first? And I think that was a Flash game. I could be wrong on that one. What's it called? Flappy Bird was essentially the helicopter game, but we'll ignore that one. What's the game thinking of? Angry Birds. Angry Birds was essentially Crash the Castle, which was a Flash game. Like, I wish I could think of more at the top of my head, but there's a load of old Flash games that were basically turned into modern games with modern graphics and stuff, and made tons of profit. Anyways. Oh, map. Oh, look at this. I'm just going away from Earth. Fantastic, fantastic time for gaming. I will never not look back at Flash games with fond memories. But equally, like I've been saying with old games in general, There were some hot garbage Flash games. It's not like everything released was a banger. But they were free, so it didn't really matter. It didn't really matter if what you... Oh, I'm going to try this game out. Oh, this sucks. It doesn't really matter because it was just a free game. So... I want to... Let's not get it up at the moment as substance and fix some stuff. What I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly make the smoke that comes out the front. Now, I can do this on a spline. I can do this in several different ways. Maybe I will try spline first. The problem with... I love the Wii. I love the Wii as well. I think I've liked every Nintendo console. Like, one of my fondest memories of gaming... I keep saying this. One of my fondest memories... Another fond memory of gaming was probably the GameCube. And didn't the GameCube flop? Was it the GameCube that flopped? Worst selling Nintendo consoles. Hello. Who just said that in chat? Who just said that? Hello. Frigidus Roblox. How's it going, man? I'm making my own Roblox model right now. Nice. This is what I'm making. Boom. Canon, baby. Your least successful Nintendo devices. Oh, yeah, the Wii U. I like the Wii U. Oh, least successful Nintendo 64. Was apparently in this list the 9th least successful. Even though Nintendo 64 was amazing. The GameCube. There you go. I thought the GameCube didn't sell well. Least successful GameCube. Well, one of the least successful. The only Nintendo console you had was the Wii U. I've had all of them. Probably mostly bought with my pocket money. My parents did buy a couple of them. But I say all of them. Let's think. Let's go through all Nintendo consoles. Lime Rider. Ah, mate. A fish game, I forget. I assume you mean Flash game. Yes, Lime Rider and Free Rider, which is basically the same as Lime Rider, except you could actually... It was like a bike game. I'll just quickly get a picture of it. Free Rider Flash. But they have a website for it. That's awesome. You drew the track, and then you literally drove through it. It was awesome. GameCube is my favorite console of all time. Yeah, like, I like the GameCube and 64. Was it my favorite? Probably. I really like the GameCube. Which is funny, because I've not played a lot of Nintendo games that I should have. I've not played any... I played a bit of Breath of the Wild recently, but I should get back into it. But I didn't really play any Zelda games. And this isn't because I thought they looked trash, just because at the end of the day, when you're growing up, your parents tend to be the person who buys you stuff. Or you buy it with your own pocket money. Nintendo's always been very expensive. So when my parents offered me a game, it was usually like a tenner. That's not enough to buy you a Nintendo game. And then when I had my own pocket money, I'd buy like a £5 game. People seem to forget that if you were growing up with games, you were only able to play what your parents would buy you. And Nintendo games were mostly out of the question because they were so expensive. So it was like, I didn't play much Mario. I didn't play much Zelda. I've played Mario games now, though. I didn't play much Zelda. I didn't play a lot of Nintendo games. I could go through a list, but the problem is it's hard to remember a list of games I haven't played because they don't come up in my memory very easily. List of Nintendo systems. Okay. Let's go from So, I think my brother had one of these, the Nintendo Entertainment System. I don't know if we had a Super Nintendo Entertainment System. We had a Nintendo 64. We had a GameCube. Oh, yeah. We didn't have that. We had a Wii. I didn't know there was a family edition. I assume it's not any different. We had a Wii U. I think I bought the Wii U myself. A Wii Mini. Didn't know that existed. Oh, we never had a NES Classic. I remember seeing them in game. They were like miniature NESs. I have a Nintendo Switch. And that's it. Oh, and then handheld. Oh, handheld, of course. I had a Game & Watch, I'm pretty sure. I had a Game Boy. I had a Game Boy Color. Probably still have it somewhere laying around. The Game Boy was chunky. Like, it was chunky. For those of you who don't remember, it's probably like this. It was a chunky boy. I thought Nintendo was dying until they released the Switch. I feel like Nintendo has always been a... You gotta remember, it's their games, right? Console-wise, it's sometimes had bad releases. The games themselves, Pokemon, no matter what, people are going to flock to that game. Even if they release a garbage one, like now. They've released one that's super buggy, apparently. I've not looked into it. And a lot of people are complaining about it. In fact, if we look at its Metacritic. Pokemon Violet. Look at the audience score. 1,800. 3.9. But people still freaking bought it. Even though it's got a low rating, it still probably sold a lot. Like Pokemon Violet and Scarlet sales. Had every console up until Wii. Really? You stopped at Wii? So you didn't have Wii, Wii U, or Switch? I think Switch is a perfect console when it comes to Nintendo anyway. Because it's that mix between your Nintendo, your DS. I had a DS. I had a 3DS. I have a 3DS laying around somewhere. I don't know where. I was about to say I didn't have a 3DS, but I did. My friend gave one to me because he bought a new one. And because I lent him money in the past, it was like a thank you. And he just gave it to me. I was like, oh, nice. Yeah, 6 million copies just in Japan. Even though the game apparently was very bad on release. I don't know if they've updated it to be a bit fixed now. But yeah. Like, Nintendo have always had such a huge amount of income when it comes from video games alone, that that's probably why they've been able to experiment so much with consoles, and I love Nintendo for it. No game before the Wii released something like that. Well, maybe someone could probably say, no, Steve, this game did it, and I would have never heard, this console did it, sorry, and I would have never heard of the console, but you know what? The Wii was probably the first one that comes to a lot of people's minds. Oh, yeah, Tamagotchi. I wasn't big on Nintendo games. I just didn't have many of them because, like I said, they cost a lot of money, and my parents wouldn't have bought me something that was that much price. I say that. They bought me Crash Bandicoot for the PS2 for 50 quid back in the day, and that was Wrath of Cortex? Crash Bandicoot Wrath of Cortex. Yeah. Crash Bandicoot Wrath of Cortex was the best Crash Bandicoot game that wasn't made by Naughty Dog. In my opinion, at the end of the day, it's always just going to be my opinion, but it was a banger. It was because it was like playing the original 3. They tried to keep the same formula. After that, the Crash Bandicoot games took such a drastic direction in another direction that, like, just look at it, it looks like a traditional Crash game. But then you've got, like, Crash of the Titans, which I completed this game, believe it or not. Look at what they made. Look at what they did to my boy. Look at him. Why did they make him look like that? I can't remember his name now, but critic. You know what? It did pretty well, but it was very different. It was very different to the original 3 and Wrath of Cortex. Wrath of Cortex had a ball game mode, from what I remember. It was like a monkey ball. Had Game Boy Color, had Game Boy Advance, had the Game Boy Advance SP, probably the best out of the lot, unless you didn't like the flip design. But I think it's because the SP was the first to come with a backlight, right? It was the first Game Boy to have a design such as... yeah, front lit screen, yeah. Anything before this didn't have a front lit screen, so if you were in a dark room, you were like... The DS was always good. DS Lite. I think I had a DS Lite as well. Never had a DSi. Had a Nintendo 3DS. Never had an XL. I think I still have only the original. New Nintendo 3DS. Didn't know there was another one. New Nintendo 3DS XL. Jesus Christ. And then the Switch. And then you got the OLED model. Hold on a minute. Was that released afterwards then? 2DS XL. How many variants did they want to release? Wait, Game & Watch specifically, is that like it itself? Oh, that's cool. Alright, you too. But yeah. Something I do want to add about the talks like yesterday and a little bit in my chat today were about people keep saying like AAA companies are worse than they used to be. AAA companies are worse than they used to be. And I agree. AAA companies have a reputation now of just being cash grabs. However, people seem to forget that a AAA company of the past was basically an indie company. Now, that's a very bold statement. So we'll write in how many people watch on certain games. So Banjo Banjo. So this one I looked up prior. Total development team. And it started off as 10, went up to 15. That'd be considered an indie company with 5 artists, 2 designers, 1 musician, and 7 engineers. We don't even have someone called an engineer in our company. What's some other games? Well, what about Mario 64? Now, I'm going to assume it was Nintendo, so they had a bigger team. 15 to 20 people. Okay. GoldenEye. What were they? Team Hyper. GoldenEye. What? It's got to be like a number somewhere. How many people developed GoldenEye? Just a handful of people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I love it in music. Is that what this guy works on? 12 people. And I can type in probably a lot of games here. And you'll have a much smaller studio than you'd expect. Because games back in the day, it was much more of a niche market anyway. So you're going to have a smaller company. Where if we look at something like... What was a kind of bad game released today that people consider a cash grab? That was like a big game. Biggest AAA game let down. Cyberpunk, yeah, good example. Cyberpunk. This is when it comes up 15 people. FIFA games, that's a good one. Well, people are never disappointed in FIFA, though, despite them not having any new content every... Well, some may say to me, no, Steve, there is different content. They changed everyone's stats. The grass is more physics. Is more physics. Like, okay, but did you get any more game? No. Around 500 people. This is what AAA companies are now. So that's what I'm saying. When people talk about old AAA companies, they don't seem to understand that old AAA companies were what we'd probably consider an indie company today, right? That's why when you look at old games, they kind of more reflect the development process of today's indie games rather than today's AAA games, because those companies back in the day would be considered an indie company. I mean, how many people developed GTA? Actually, you know what? Skyrim. Size. Fuck it, I'm typing terrible today. 100 people. So even Skyrim had 100 people, and that was 12, 14 years old. Am I an old man? Did I guess that age right? 12 to 14. Skyrim release. 12. Yes, I am not too old that I forget how long things were. Ubisoft just steals and ruins a lot. Yeah, that's true as well. But we talked about it yesterday. Like, it's so bizarre to me when people sit there and go, all new games are bad. Old new games are cash grabs. Old games were better. Old games never used to do this. Old games released fully functioning games. That's such a funny comment to begin with. I've played so many old games that were not fully functioning. You know how arcade games used to catch ya? Arcade games made it harder and harder as you progressed through it and made it so you had to put more and more money in. How is that not a cash grab? It's literally, you had to put money in to play the game more. If we did that, imagine doing that today. Here's a game. It's £1 to play. When you die, you gotta get your credit card out and put another £1 into it. If you had a game with that mechanic today on the PC and not in a physical arcade machine, people would lose their minds. But when it's in an arcade machine in an arcade, you don't really mind too much. So it's just so weird to me that people love talking about the old days in such rose-tinted glasses. And they're like, wow, it's amazing, it's amazing, it's amazing. I love old games. Old games never did anything wrong. Oh, so did you play E.T.? Did I play what? One of the worst games ever released in existence. Did you knew about 1983, the video game, like, market crash, right? What was that? People were releasing too many games and consoles and they oversaturated the market, causing a crash. Oh, I didn't know about that. No, you didn't. Because you've got rose-tinted glasses on. Now, admittedly, when I say 83, people were... I'm too young to really remember games around that era anyway. So that's a little bit of an irrelevant one at times, regardless. But I like a lot of new games, but a lot of new games definitely have sacrificed quality. This can be seen in... Yeah, I think it can... I think it's only seen, really, in AAA games. Like... I think indie games, you'll still find mostly passionate projects. Yes, you'll get some people, like, Days Before, I think, is kind of doing it at the moment, where they're kind of lying about what's being developed and stuff. But It Takes Two, for example, I mentioned this one yesterday, is one of the best games I've ever played in my life. That game had so much passion in it. It is unreal. Our games are so simple compared to what can be done today, therefore there are more bugs. True, but you still get simple games today. Look at Vampire Survivors. For those of you who've not seen this game is booming at the moment. And if you think about mobile games are very simple a lot of the time. This is going to be really loud, isn't it, when I start it? I want to mute the game when it starts. Uh-oh, it's not coming up. Oh, there it is. Mute. This game is booming at the moment. Like, this is one of the best sold games very recently. Let's just play the easy guy. And all this game is things come towards you and you kill them. So, I guess a much more advanced asteroids. I can say you level up, you select things. Well, this all sucks. And right now I've got an ability called Garlic, and it means around my character there's a damaging field, and when I walk inside it kills it. I like these abilities personally when I play this game because it means I haven't got to do much. Wow, can I please have... So I wanted to show you guys another weapon, but my 2 first levels have been not weapons. Come on, let me level up again. I just want to show you one more weapon. Because I've got the most basic weapon you can have. Okay, it's not giving me a weapon, but you get the idea. There's weapons where your character shoots in a random direction, stuff like that. A lot of the stuff that your character doesn't do stuff for. But that's a very simple game, and it's one of the best-selling games recently. Nintendo only allows certain games on their consoles. They saved gaming by not letting loads of... Yeah, they literally... that was literally what saved the gaming crash, right? It was Nintendo. Am I remembering that correctly? Who saved the gaming crash of 1983? I don't know how they saved it, if that was a big thingy. Two major events of 1985 helped to... Oh, 85? Oh, no, it is 83. But in 85, something happened to revitalize gaming. One factor came from increased sales of personal computers. Okay... Who saved the gaming industry? Nintendo, here you go. Though it had been popular in arcades, even home screens for years, it became an icon only when it came bundled with... After single-handedly reviving the game industry back in 1985. So what did they do? Did they just release really good games? I don't want to read the entire article. Did Super Mario Bros. Say... Was it Super Mario Bros.? Largely Super Mario Bros. And NES single-handedly revived the gaming industry in North America, with competitors gradually re-entering the market. Yeah. So it was just because they released good games. So many games are giving mobile a bad rap. I think the problem with mobile right now is this is definitely something that's changed a lot in the gaming industry, and it's sort of dynamic ads on your content, right? When people release a free game, they're like, boom, advertisement. Now, we can't sit there and say, oh, it's also subscription-based plans, because yes, subscription-based plans for video gaming only were really introduced in World of Warcraft. But if you think about when World of Warcraft was released, it was 2004, so it was almost 20 years ago. So that's quite a big span of time to say, oh, today games do this, when a game 19 years ago did it. So, wait, is that right? Yeah. So it's a bit hard to say, oh, today games do this, when, yeah, a game that many years ago did it. So I wouldn't say subscription-based at all, but ads in general, personally, have ruined mobile gaming for me. But honestly, it's... So the reason... So I would buy a game. I'd much more... It's like Genshin Impact, right? Genshin Impact had an energy system because it was meant for mobile. I do not like energy systems in games. When I play a video game, I want to play the game. I don't want to play it for an hour, then be told, okay, you don't have enough energy now to tackle a dungeon. What? Yeah, your character's got 2 energy. It costs 5 to enter this dungeon. Well, how do I get it back? Well, you can pay real money, or you can wait an hour to get this much energy back, or wait 10 minutes to get this much energy back. I'm like... I just want to play the game. You're locking me out of the game. Jesus, and I would much prefer to pay 15, 20 quid for the game if it meant this didn't exist. Now that for me, is probably the hardest part to sort of swallow when it comes to how the gaming industry has changed. Is people now I say that Elden Ring, God of War, like talk about AAA studios, and then lots of indie games don't do this. But when it comes to mobile gaming specifically, this has become basically the way to do it. You make your game for free, and then you introduce a system that lets you play the game longer by getting energy, or you just have lots of paid things that you can use to give you a character an advantage. Let me see. Well, the problem really wasn't that there were so many games; it was that there was so many bad games. Yeah. That's why Nintendo. Yeah, it was an oversaturation of essentially bad games. That's why Nintendo only let games they approve on their console. Nowadays, we see that as a bad thing for Nintendo. But no, you know what? You say that. That's not even true anymore. Nintendo have really opened up the last couple of years. If you go on the Nintendo store, they got so many games on there. I was really surprised because I was buying games for it before I got the Steam Deck because I wanted to play more mobile gaming, and then I bought the Steam Deck, and now I don't even play that recently. But that's not even fully true anymore because they did open up quite a bit recently. But I guess they still handpick the ones that they think are good. So it doesn't invalidate that sentence at all because that statement should say, because they still probably handpick the ones that are good. So Steam is full of trash games. It's annoying. Steam is full of trash games, but I feel like it's not very difficult to maneuver your way into the good games. I don't see there being a problem. Like, back in the day, you couldn't just go on the internet and quickly look up if a game was good. You took a gamble. You took your £50 you won that week. I can't remember if I just said this. You took your £50 you won that week, because back in the day, you probably only earned £50 a week. And you went, well, let's say it was £100 a week. But games still were... People forget this as well. Games still cost a lot of money. Back in the day, Nintendo 64 games were selling sometimes for £80. Which today is probably worth like £160 for a video game. I think our pricing has been fine with video games. It sucks to see games being released at £60 today because they dumbed it down to about £40 to £50 releases, and now they're putting it up. But that's just inflation. But what was I saying? Yeah, you took a gamble when buying a game. If your friends had paid it, £50 for one game, yeah, pounds as in, so £50. If you're asking because you don't know what a pound is, it's that's around what, $62. So a £50 game in the UK will probably be $60 in the US. What's my phone going off? Oh. Whoops. I was gonna say, yeah, reading about the Final Fantasy comment, people seem to have a very weird memory when it comes to how much games used to cost. I still have games with a £50 price tag sticker slapped on them, or £40 price tag sticker, that were PS2 and PS1. And Nintendo 64 games were notably one of the most expensive. I don't think I have any Nintendo 64 games I can say I have a price sticker on, though. Yeah, I was reading your second comment, Cook. Yeah, it's so baffling to me that people neglect. I'm trying to figure out how I want to do the particle system. That people neglect just video games in general. Like I don't know. I just wish people remembered a bit clearer. Yeah, that's a very grey area, buying things on websites like CD keys and stuff. I personally do it, and maybe I shouldn't, because maybe, you know, some people may say, oh, but you're making games yourself and now you're using a grey market to purchase games. But I can't help it. When I see such a good offer and when I don't even know if I'm going to enjoy the game, because back in the day, remember when you used to just get demos for everything? That was the best. That was such a good way to advertise your games. You still want to do Cascade? I don't mind. I probably won't do Cascade. I was just talking about it earlier. This one is going to be my Steam, but I'm going to hand draw it, I think. Demo discs in magazines, exactly, right? Those were the days. So if I do something like this, I can then draw on top of it. There's a couple ways I could do this. I could do this way. Look at the original. Do it this way. And then we could just draw on top of it using just a PS1 demo discs. I could do a particle effect, sort of doing this. I could make it on a spline. But the problem with a spline is I needed to dissipate as it gets to the top. So I don't think that'll actually work the way I want it to. So I think hand drawing it is probably the best way. But the problem with hand drawing it is then I kind of animated. Kind of looking great, by the way. Thank you. There you go. Here's it full screen. Boom. I can't, if I hand draw it and make it look like this, I kind of animated. Because if you start animating this, it won't look right. Because when you want to pan something up, it needs to be universally sort of the same thing. I could fade out the top and have it pan up with a fade at the top, which kind of works. And then we just make a strip. It won't look the same, but it might work. Demolition Derby. Yeah, that's such a good game. I think I only played the demo to that game. So we'll lift this up, I think, a bit more. Then we'd want to draw here and here. Problem is, I'd probably need to, if I want to panner it, I need them to be two separate components. More like this. Because I want it to be animated. That's the end result I'm looking for, right? And then I can fade it on either world position, or I can fade it with a separate UV sheet. Or just a panel node, just a linear gradient node over the top. We've got that one for there as well now. What did you turn? You know how awkward it is to realign that? Yeah, and then we've got like a little bit that sort of floats up here, sort of around here. Now, again, you could do this with particle effects as well. There's quite a few ways you could do this. See, this one isn't going to work. Well, actually, if it takes up the entire sheet, it's fine. If I do this and it takes up the entire sheet, which is why this is annoying me. Why are you getting turned? What if I pack island? There we go. Cool. Now we've got them three separate components, and I can draw them all three separately. So when it goes from top to bottom, it should be able to panner. I just need to draw it so I can pan. Do I Photoshop draw this? Because then when you're back here, you've got them there. Now, I can also help. It's like, it kind of comes in here, comes out here. Actually, it looks like it comes out, but at the same time, it looks like it's rolling over the top. Looks like it does something like this and rolls over. Sort of like that. So it rolls, and then it comes up to here, and then rolls back like that. Who just messaged me? Oh, alright, this is my mate. This one does kind of look like it goes straight, but it does also look like it does this, and it's like got a bendiness to it, sort of like that. Comes up, and it goes a bit more. What I should have done is do this, and pull this straight, and then bend. Yeah, and this one here kind of looks like it does this. So this is a very interesting way to do this, FYI. Like, you could do this with particles, but I'm just thinking. I say interesting way. This isn't that unique. A lot of people do this, but I'm just thinking this would be the best. So this is more of a sharper tip here. It goes like that. It comes up like so. Because we're gonna alpha mask it, so I could have it wider than straw in the middle. It's fine. That looks like where I want it. Now it's unwrap them all again. I got unwrap them all separately because they need to take up the entire grid. I like how they're all just going on their side all of a sudden. It's really annoying. So they need to pack? Cool. They need to take up the whole grid because I need them to pan. For those of you who don't know what I mean when I say pan, I need them to... what word am I looking for? I need them to sort of roll over themselves. So I've got like the tip of the texture here, bottom of the texture here, and it will constantly be moving up, giving the illusion it's moving. So if I have a little bit wiggly as well, it won't look perfectly like the original, but the problem with here is you get like sharp tips and stuff. It's awkward to do that and also have it pan, because I want it to look like it's moving. That's more of a stationary imagery. Again, you could probably do something that's a particle effect, and then you could just make it get thinner as it gets to the top, but I don't know how I would go about doing that, because the way it looks more drawn, so it's awkward. Very, very awkward. Probably want to do a slight adjustment here. Give it more of a bendiness. Cool. State that. File, export, FBX, and I guess I could re-import it in here. Just put it in our substance painter and draw over the top in there. There's never a problem trying different attempts at the same thing. Sometimes if I don't like the way this looks, I could try particles instead. And if I like the way it looks, I could keep that. Sometimes it takes a couple of attempts to get what you're looking for. So unless you've got a really hard time constraint, don't worry about that. Oh, but I don't want to redo it in this other way. It's fine. Like if you're just trying to get the best result, take your time, get something that you think looks good. Man, my headache. I should have taken. I never know what to take, paracetamols or ibuprofen. What do you guys take for headaches? I'm going to get aspirin now, which I don't know if it's just my family or if it's the UK. Because I don't hear my friends say they take an aspirin. If I hear anyone say that they took a painkiller, it's usually ibuprofen or paracetamols. But when I watch American movies, so basically 95% of English movies, because most of our media is American, they usually like, oh, give me an aspirin. Even I remember he said it in Bad Boys. Usually painkillers. Well, I thought painkiller isn't. Painkiller is the overall term for them, or is their brand called painkiller? EU aspirin as well. Oh, okay. Maybe Aspen's more common here. It's just whenever I hear people say it, that's my only point of reference, is I tend to hear, I just get a car buy the cheap stuff. Nice. To be fair, don't they say that's the best anyway, because the cheap stuff is the same. It's the same stuff in it than the expensive stuff. I think they legally have to still call them paracetamol or ibuprofen, right? So the brand might be something like Tesco, Sainsbury's, Co-op, but they still have to say what type of drug they are. I don't over-the-counter painkiller. I don't over-the-counter trash. Just wait till it goes away. Damn. Man over here, just going through the pain. Yeah, I'm drinking stuff. Maybe should get another drink now. Okay, so we've got this extra component. Again, this is adding a whole nother texture to the whole asset, but this is fine. Like, where this is like a decal asset, you'll usually, especially back in the day, you'd have loads of like hand dropped on decals, and then you just do extra detailing on them. Some might blame the full moon, who knows? But the moon isn't out yet. Right, so we want opacity for this one. Opacity, not mask, because we want it to be faded in certain areas. We don't want it to just be masked out. So I still could just hand draw this and keep it as a solid object. In my brain, I'm like, I really want it to be animated though. But maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should just have it as a still frame, because at the end of the day, I'm going to advertise it as a still frame. But it's kind of why I was doing particle effects, because I wanted it to be moving. Ugh, sneeze. So we want to add opacity. Yeah. Cool. And grab this. Sometimes my hubris, sometimes my my over wanting it to work in a game engine can be kind of the detriment to my work, because making something fully movable and stuff is cool, but if you can't get it looking the same way as like the concept, it might just be better, like I'm saying, to just hand draw it and keep it as a still image. Because at the end of the day, I'm still going to have it so you can rotate around the object and we can get different camera angles, which is what we want. So maybe that is the best way. Smoke. What am I doing? Opacity. It's just affect opacity right now. Oh no, what am I doing? That's not just affecting opacity. Come to here, we want opacity. Yeah, cool. So I can either do the reverse. I think I might. Let me just fill the whole thing. Wait, no. Why don't we just do? We'll do a separate layer that only does opacity. Yeah, that's what we'll do. So I was doing it right. I'll get rid of everything. There's got to be just a fill button, right? I'm not being done. There's just a fill button. I think there's a fill button. I mean, white mask. Wow, my brain has gone just so blank. If I white mask it and keep it as a 0 value, shouldn't I get rid of everything if it's the opacity, right? I can see it fade up there. That's cool. I'm definitely being dumb. Whatever. I'll just hand draw what I want. So we'll just get rid of everything we want. There's got to be a fill. You can see like the tip coming through. I thought if I just white mask the layer, that's equivalent to filling. Is it not? Black mask means it's not doing anything. White mask should fill it. Because if I had this as like red and I were to black mask it, it would take that away, white mask it, it would bring it in. If I have opacity turned down, yeah. Why is it working on a different layer? This is making me look like a liar, but at the same time not. I'm so confused. I swear I just did that, did I not? I'm so confused. So what I'll actually do here is I'll have a on top layer. We'll have this one as a mild disappearing in opacity. So that way in here, and we'll have it opacity sort of 50%. That way I can still draw over it, and then when I get rid of that, I'll have it appearing right. So I can sort of see where my boundaries are. So we want definitely, I think we want flow and this on, right? So that way when I'm pressing soft and then hard, we're getting it appear and not appear. So we want, God, it's gonna be difficult. And we want sharp edges, I think. I'll do some hand bits in a minute to make it work a bit better. Handy bits. I'm just sort of getting the generic shape right now. See, this one is actually interesting. It's got like a separate layer. It comes to here. It's more like that, right? And then there's like a separate layer which has an opacity of maybe like here. Enjoys the computer, sometimes it works the way. I like finding out why it's doing it that way, though, but that made no sense, right? I was doing the same thing on the other layer, and it was just like, no. I was like, what do you mean, no? So it's got like secondary layers here, right? Which I feel like I should turn this off and just have it set a whole. Yeah, if we turn flow down here, so I can like layer on top of it. We'll do some like blending as well, just not yet. So here, same sort of thing. I've been watching Promised Neverland. I started yesterday. It seems really good at the moment. For those of you who like seemingly dark animes, I definitely give it a recommend. Hold on a minute, this isn't working again. Why am I not allowed to draw here? Oh, because I got it reversed. Okay, it's fine. It's like this, then that. Just draw it there. Oh, sorry. I might be better now. Promised Neverlands. Neverlands. Also, if you guys want something really, really good, I'd recommend Made in Abyss. Probably my favorite anime the last year. That was honestly just fantastic. Everything about that was cool. So what I'm going to do on top of this is we're going to go something like this, make it a big sort of layer. X, we're going to go nice soft, and we're going to do some blending in areas. Blending is probably the wrong word, but yeah, like that. So we get this smoothness to it. And that's probably what I actually need for this part. In fact, I probably still need some sharpness here. Like that. Alright, so now let's start doing these layers. So we definitely need to be sharper towards the top. That's really hard to see what I'm doing. Its basic color needs to be like white. So let's quickly pop that over the top, turn everything off, and make it white. There you go. Again, this layer won't exist. As you can see, when I get rid of that, we then have our smoke actually sitting there. We're just having to hand get that like smoke in. Let's get back to this layering. Yep. And we want to have a bit more sharpness going on here. that. It comes around to here. It gets a bit more, it gets a little bit fatter around here, to be fair. Why can't I paint anymore? Oh, it's because that layer's on top. Oh, interesting. Oh, it's like blending. That's exactly what I actually want, so that's fine. We just need to... It needs to sort of cut into here like this. There's like fat around the edges. If we do this, it'll make that line come through a bit thicker. Sort of come in like this. There you go. So now I'm going to do big areas real fast. Cool. And we're going to make him not have full flow. Oh, you know what? We'll turn the flow on, but we will have the size the same. So softly pressing, we'll get rid of it like that. See what I mean? So we can start going like soft, soft, soft here. So get up. Now I need to do a similar looking thing for the actual parts over here. So we need to do a big soft area here. We need to make it a bit bigger because we want to just... It's annoying. It's only affecting the one. I only want it to really be affecting the one over here. So I've got to sort of do it soft. So I want to go nice and hard at the start, and then I'm going to slightly get it coming in. Same up here. This part to fade, and as it comes down, be a bit softer. Okay. Better and oh cool. Okay, thanks for the recommendations. I'm gonna go game for a bit. I'll check the rest of the video later. I have a good day, bud. Have a good one, man. And that's pretty much what we're looking for if we keep it as a static thing. We can have a little bit of fadeness here. Same here. We can have a little bit of fading over here. Yeah. We want a little bit in the middle of here because it's got like a disconnect around here. Like so. And it's got a similar thing. We'll make this one smaller, but we've got a similar thing going here. This part comes in definitely a lot harder around here. Not quite what I'm looking for. I think I need to be smaller. I'm watching Promised Neverlands with a friend at the moment, and I'm sitting here like, man, I really want to watch some more. I'm a binge watcher. I like watching things where I'm able to just continue watch them if I feel like it. I like this little bit here, so I'm gonna keep that. Whereas I know a lot of people, because a lot of people are like, yeah, I'm fine waiting weekly. I'm not fine waiting weekly. I like just if I'm able to watch something, I want to go watch it. Whereas most people are just like, nah, I'm fine waiting. I'm not fine waiting. I want to watch it. Kiss me on there. I always wait until the 40s. Right, yeah, I'm not the only one. Yeah, it's exactly what I do. I wait till it's fully released. So that way I can, in my own time, because I don't necessarily need to binge watch it. It just means I can watch it in my own time and it feels comfortable, very comfortable to watch that way. I'm glad I'm not the only one. God, I'm trying to like get this to work, but I mean that looks about right, I'd say. I've got it like blotchy now though. It's annoying. Like this part's like thinner and stuff, which is not too bad. If technically it needs to be thicker as it gets towards the bottom. So I should be doing something more like this. Problem is I should really have this. That's what I should be doing. This should be the underlayer. Oh, but it doesn't work if it's the underlayer. Okay, that's a shame. Because I want it underneath the thicker parts, but the way I've done it is I've kind of done that in reverse. Dude, finally, last stream, how much you work? How much you was working on this cannon? I'd say it's taking me anywhere between 20 and 40 hours. The reason it's hard to really estimate is because I talk mostly in my streams. Like, even if we added up all the streams, I only stream twice a week. Oh, actually, I should first go to my channel. There you go. So if we go lives, we started here. So 2 months ago. Yeah, pretty much 2 months ago. 2 months and like a week. So 2 hours. Let's round them all up. 2 hours, 2 hours, or well, round them to the closest whole number. Round. Yeah, to the closest whole number. So 2, 2, 2. So 6, 6, 8. I know these are halves, so it's kind of hard to say. We'll take a couple hours off. 8. What's happening there? That was a video. 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. That's me playing a game. 16. We'll run that one down. 16, 17, 19, 21. 21, 23, 25, 27, 30, 33, 35, 36, 37, 38, 38, 42, and what we're doing now. So 42 hours plus what we're doing now. Probably should take a couple hours away from that because a lot of them were just over an hour and a half, so we'll say 38 hours. So 38 hours worth of streaming, but I probably took half the amount of time, right? So probably about 19 hours of actually working on it. And even then, I'd say I'm being generous. But I think it's looking pretty good. We're almost done. We've got everything sort of to the way we want it. I need to still get the balls in. I thought I just saw Psychic type to chat, but clearly not. What are you going to make next? By the way, it's so cool. I might jump back onto one of my environments, but I am kind of digging the whole making singular assets. At the end of the day, singular assets do kind of look better on a portfolio, and some may disagree with me there, but I think the reason I feel that way is because a singular asset, like 2 months making one asset is a lot of generous time, to be spending on site. But if I spent 2 months on an environment, I probably still wouldn't be very far. So I like for portfolio reasons, maybe I'll do a couple more assets. This guy had some cool assets. This was only one of the assets I saw from this guy's profile. I can't remember who it is, but I will. Why am I running at like 0? My computer is struggling all of a sudden. Jesus, it was fine a second ago. What the heck? What's going on? Is the stream still going? It says mostly I'm idle. Is it system idle process? It says I'm not even using my processing right now. PC? What is wrong, my guy? Wait. Oh, is it my mouse? Oh, no, it's the PC. Can you just say simple answer? I don't know yet. I don't know what I'm making yet, so I can't really say a simple answer. Why? I'm very confused. My PC is running super slow. Yeah, what is going on? Please. What is going on? I've closed like everything. Okay, I closed Epic Games. It started working. Am I back? Am I still streaming? Hello?